Leadership in the 21st century confronts a variety of changes. Actually, these are paradigm changes. When we look at global history, we find that there has been a shift, particularly here in North America, from an agrarian period into an industrial period. And now we are moving into the information age. For me, this is a paradigm change that calls for new rules and new practices. This has an impact upon how we understand leadership in a changing and global world. Any leader that would lead an organization or would lead a congregation in pastoral leadership needs to understand the globalization of our communities, how the world is becoming diversified through immigration and migrations, how global economics is impacting our communities. We're no longer the traditional neighborhood that was the foundation of earlier congregational life or leadership. The church is changing. Organizations are changing. And globalization and social diversity is one of the great hallmarks of this change. Along with that, we are increasing in knowledge as a result of digital technologies. This is coming to us in a variety of social media. Therefore, information has become globalized. And knowledge, the creation of new knowledge, has become power. And therefore, decisions, governance, and personal decisions are being influenced through knowledge power. All organizations, be they the church or a not-for-profit, are influenced in their actions, in their activity, in their decision-making functions through this knowledge power. Also, we are gaining a new understanding of partnerships, collaboration, and network. Because we can communicate in a global fashion, we also have new opportunities to network. Churches coming together, organizations coming together, even on a global basis, so that those who are ministering in international settings can join in with our own American context. And so consequently, we have a global network. Understanding networking and partnerships and how to collaborate is a real demand for leaders. Furthermore, a shift in the authority for decision-making is coming about. Under the industrial age, we worked on vertical authorities, or the typical bureaucratic pyramid or hierarchy. Now, authority is becoming much more horizontal. We're moving towards team relationships, systemics in our decision-making, and therefore we have a flatter authority structure, and we are working horizontally. At the same time, from the standpoint of biblical Christianity, we are being confronted with new demands for the declaration of biblical truth. This has become a social struggle within our contemporary society, and therefore we need to learn how to explain, to propose, and to declare the biblical gospel in new ways and in new forms. So I would suggest to you that we are undergoing a paradigm change in culture. And since leadership is an artifact of culture, leadership needs to examine itself once again, design new patterns and new forms and new practices to confront these new challenges. I think above all of the attributes that a leader in today's world, be it a leader of a not-for-profit ministry or whether it be the pastor of a local congregation, the primary attribute is that of discernment or understanding the times. A leader cannot lead in a vacuum, but they must understand that the members of their organization or of the congregation are confronting new issues, new threats, and new needs, and therefore, consequently, the leader has to provide a response that grows out of self-understanding and out of discernment, led by the Spirit of God, to address those needs. And so for me, discernment is the primary attribute of the 21st century leader. Second, integrity, honesty, grows out of this to enforce the need for character. We are called to live in a life of holiness, and therefore leaders must model through the character that they present in all of their work, being honest, truthful, trustworthy, being dependable and responsible, become attributes for the leader in the 21st century. As we move beyond these attributes and understanding, third, we have to learn flexibilities. We need to learn the input that can come from our members, from our organizations, and therefore we have wisdom from the many. We operate as a team or as a system, and so consequently we are working with broad input, and the leader needs to learn how to manage and to care for this variety of input, so that I believe discernment, honest and integrity of character, along with flexibilities and wisdom in working within the group, become primary attributes for the 21st century leader. Finally, we should never forget that we are called to declare the gospel in a globalized world. We have good news. There is redemption through Jesus Christ in a relationship with God. And we must never forget that that is our fundamental message as leaders in the 21st century.